right, welcome to Aquadac. We are approaching the end of the fourth season of Aquadac. We are joined here by Aurelia Bloom and Space Wrangler Joe, as well as a alternate clone version of myself with two heads. So we are here to talk about our goals, to keep ourselves accountable, to keep what we want to manifest in the foresight. And the core theme of this group, or our core belief, is that when we focus together, this manifestation power gets exponential. And also practically, it's nice to just rethink about, reintegrate this energy into our weeks, so we can keep going forward farther with more people, with more connections, and hopefully with more fun. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Corellia. Let us know about your week, what you're working on, as well as if you want to end with your goal for next week, and also talk about what your goal was for last week. And then if you have a weekly win, that's fine, or we can talk about the weekly win at the end.
All right. Yep. Well, the goal that I had for the past week was to finish editing the videos for my new class, which I did. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm really happy with the results. And this time I edited my videos with DaVinci, which is totally new for me, but I really liked it. I had some issues because of the computer it wasn't that powerful. But besides from that, like the cutting and the arranging, the color grading, the voice wasn't the audio edit part wasn't that good, to be honest. But I got some help, and besides from that, it was like really fast. The rendering was really fast. The videos I got after rendering the videos, they were super they were not really extra heavy like in Premiere. Like you have to handbrake them like fucking 3 times to be able to upload them. In the vision, you didn't have to worry about that. So all the extra steps that usually I will consider editing with Premiere was like completely gone. So it was much more fluently, and and I don't know, I really liked it. I was like, and I could even edit it in a shitty computer. Can you imagine that? Like, it's like, what are people even using Premiere? It's like, I don't understand. But now I do, I guess. Yeah, but I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with DaVinci. I recommend it to you guys if you haven't tried it. It's super free. It's open source tool that you can download, and obviously there is a paid version, but that's for like the audio, I think, and a little bit of extra what you might call it, uh, VFX stuff, or something like edited animation stuff, I think. But even the titles, they offer like great titles, animations that you can instantly put, and there are a lot of options for that. So something that Premiere doesn't offer, and if they offer, they're really, really ugly. So yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm finishing my editing. I have my class ready. I was working also on some resources, PDFs that I want to provide along with the class. So it was my first time actually. This time I said like, okay, I'm going to use Chat GPT to be able to get help to do these PDFs quickly, because I was like, it was going to take me a little longer. And he did a great job. I already have like some foundation of information that I provided at the beginning, but along with that, it was like super, super, super good. I got really good results. I didn't even have to change that much. And so with this sort of information, I just created these PDFs, and then in one night I had them ready, and I was really happy with that. I think it's like having an assistant that sort of like speaks, sort of like once you I don't know how to say. It's like uh, I don't know. It's like a person that wants to. Uh, uh, I can't think of this word now. the ones that is open to do whatever you tell them to do, like and it's gonna do their best to do it. Something crazy. But I really like that. I use it today as well. And for some titles, to get the titles, the ideas for the titles of my course, like I sort of gave the information. I get a bunch of different options. I obviously play with these variations to be able to myself create the ones that I think they make more sense. But besides from that, it was a great that was a win for me. I would say that was a win for me to start applying these tools in a way that is obviously consciously in a conscious way, because I'm not like just providing a bunch of information that I just copy and paste from somewhere else, but I did I am starting to understand what are the benefits, like on especially in saving time. And even when because I was tired, I was after editing, it loads your energy a lot. You're super tired, and to be able to get that inspiration to write a document from scratch, or sort of like adjust and look at research and make your own words, is like I didn't have the brain energy to do that. So having this tool at that moment for the specific situation, it was like a win for me. And the goal I think I'm setting myself for next week is publishing my class. I'm already publishing here in some teasers about the class, and to market it a little bit, and I want to try new things, and also the captions for Instagram. I also am starting to use ChatGPT to do that because they do a great job. They do take a little more refining though. I realized that it's not like because it's sort of like it has to speak your voice as well, so it takes some adjustments, of course. But for hashtags and stuff like that, they can say like I want hashtags that are being used from this range to this range, so I'm not just putting hashtags that are like super like popular, or like not too popular. And that so I'm just that's my goal for next week, and also take my time to balance myself and keep doing my exercises, and sort of attaining a sort of emotional balance, and also with work and stuff like that. So I'm going to thank you for listening. I'm going to pass it to Space Wrangle Joe.
All right, thanks. Glad to hear your wins. Looking forward to seeing your editing. That's super cool. And being a big AI advocate, it's great to hear how it's affecting people and benefiting lives, and not taking jobs, but allowing you to do your job easier, and hopefully to actually get more jobs, right? So that's cool. But yeah, so for me, I think my goal for this week will be to complete a lecture and hopefully film it. I've was supposed to do it last week, but it's kind of sketchy for me a little bit. I'm working with this Hollywood producer and this director, and they've got this AI film school that I did a lecture for already. And they're getting a contract with a college in Spain. And so they want me to do a new lecture. And we talked about it pretty in depth one day when I was driving home for like an hour or something. And I got the full details and the outline. And I'm going to, create the actual lecture itself or whatever. But then at the very end, he was talking about using HeyGen, which is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a really cool tool. But basically you can record yourself for like about 5 to 10 minutes or so, and all these different angles and whatever. And then at that point, you can feed it any script and it looks just like you, and it's you talking, right? So he's like, yeah, we want to hey gen you just for Bob will do. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So like, and last time they provided me a contract and it was for a one-time spot for a fixed amount, and that's what it was going to be and all this. But now it's different, right? Because it's like, I really need to consider this, right? Like next thing you know, I'm like, giving some like racially motivated speech or some like weird political thing, and it's not even me. And they're like, no, it is you. Look, I can tell. I'm like, deep fake, deep fake. So I'm a little sketchy about it. And so I asked the guy, hey, you're gonna send me that contract over and do. And normally he has long responses, This one was just yes. And then so I didn't see it. It never came over. I got to look through my spam folder, but I haven't seen anything. And they haven't reached out to me. And so I missed the day when I was supposed to do it. We were supposed to confirm and all this stuff, but I never did. Um, this is a weird kind of goal for me too, because I'm not in full control of it, right? I'm reliant on these guys to provide the contract and all that before I submit or agree to it. So, but I am gonna try to. I have on my calendar to call this guy before I head into working today, to discuss it and see if he's gonna send it over, and then to get a fixed day to do it. But that's my goal for this week in regards to like creating content and doing stuff like that. And so again, I'm not going to beat myself up if they're holding back or changing things or whatever, but that is my goal. And then as far as my win for the week, win for the week. Man, let me think. I've had some good things happen. I think probably the best thing, my probably win for the week was I was able to get some content in, and I'm working with this company that does after school pro STEAM education, just like science, technology, what do you call it, math and engineering, arts. And so I created some content for them with this 3D design software. It's for kids, but it's pretty robust actually. It's basically like a blender, but with like really easy to use tools. And so I whipped up some of my AI juice and then some of my own personal working. But so I did like a little theme song with AI for it and animated their little character for like the intro. And then I did a little tutorial on actually creating part of the character. So I got that in. And then I should hear back on creating more content for them. And so that was a win. It'll be even better win if they're like, yeah, we want you to do a bunch of these. And so that'll be an even better win. So I'm hoping that win turns into another win, but it may or may not. So we'll see. But that's my goal for the week and my win. And I will pass it on to one of the Gouda souls.
Which one? Awesome. Thank you, Joe. I need to write down that name. What was it called again? Where you duplicate the person?
It's called Hey Gen. And it's really cool. I've used it, and they're fairly new, and they did used to have like open office hours with the actual creators. And I've been to a couple of those, but man, it's to me, that's going to be a great tool for like CEOs and blah, 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 because, and for anyone who's camera shy, right, who wants to do speaking, but it's like, and I think we all get that, right, to whatever degree. when the camera hits you and you know you're being recorded, all of a sudden you get a little like apprehensive, and you maybe change your voice a little, or it's just like whatever. So and then some people super extreme, like they just camera, I can't deal. So for those people, this kind of thing is just going to be invaluable. All of a sudden they're going to be able to do public speaking, well, at least like partially. And it has 7 languages built in, and it adjusts your mouth. So you can do one thing and then reach, multiple countries and multiple peoples with that one thing. Yeah.
Man, so much alpha, so much like good things. Like I love this meeting of minds, and thank you, Joe, for always showing up with like really cool tools. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna get into what I did this week. I don't remember exactly what my sort of goal was for the past week, but it had to do with like creating content for Aquarius Academy, as well as continuing with Tetra. So what I've really went through a process in the last week. I had a lot of sort of things come up from my past and made me realize like, why am I sort of operating on this modality? So in addition to Aquarius Academy, I was working on these smart contracts. The last week's goal was to get them launched and testing, and I did that. So I started this past week sort of finishing up that testing, and I didn't get done with that testing, and that's when I sort of started to have this awakening. And I told the grant people like, hey, like I'm still gonna need a little bit longer to test this. And also like I was trying to get it done before the wax price went up, but the wax price already went up. So that ship has sailed, and now there's kind of less pressure for me to do it because I'm not going to make as much money or not going to make as much wax. So that being said, like I'm realizing how sporadic I am sometimes with my projects. I am very dedicated, but also I have too much stuff going on. So my goal for this upcoming week is really to find clarity on that and to prioritize. So my goal is to have clarity about what my objectives are on my different projects, to prioritize both the objectives within the projects as well as to prioritize my overall objectives so that I don't put too much energy in directions that aren't going to fruit soon enough, and I can't get back to that. So all that said, what I did this week in relation to these goals, I worked on a lot of Aquarius Academy planning. I've just been rethinking abundance, rethinking what to do with tokenizing Aquarius Academy. A big thing I did this week was work on porting our token to Binance, porting or bridging, I guess, the Blux token as well as the Purple token to Binance. Really realized how wax, just the low liquidity on the chain makes it almost impossible for our projects to survive, let alone to be impactful in the world. And with Tetra, like I've been pouring my heart and soul into this. There's no money. It's just my money, my heart, my soul, and Alejandro's help as well. He's been helping, especially in the beginning a lot. Not as much now. Now it's mostly me. But I'm realizing like, hey, I'm killing myself. Meanwhile, the guy downstairs flipping meme coins is way more successful than me financially. And because I'm not in these places with high liquidity, I'm not able to provide my value to the world. So in this next week, I really need to figure out, okay, what priorities do I need to take so that these ideas have the greatest impact? So specifically with Tetra, it's a global economic system. I really believe in it. I've spent years working on it since 2020, and then with CXC before. Then with Aquarius Academy, like, how are we going to make this be more impactful? How can I improve your life, or not I? How can we improve each other's lives? And how can we take these messages, distill these messages, and spread them around the world? To get there, I sat down and I thought about, what if Aquarius Academy was like a game, right? What if you had levels that you had to get to? What if there was like storylines? And what if these sort of levels could be influenced and changed by different teachers who come into the academy? And how can we make an economy in which people are incentivized to learn, people are incentivized to come together, while at the same time, we don't miss these sort of sensational meme coin type opportunities to have broad impact through liquidity, through changing people's lives financially, and through providing instruments that merge education and financial abundance. So yeah, that's what I did this past week. Other than that, I've been dancing. I went to some ecstatic dances. I went to a jam last night. I was rapping. I made a song last night after the jam. I was walking through town today after I went to the lake, and somebody was like, "Oh, great singing last night," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." You know, that really, it makes me feel good because I don't think of myself as a singer. So to hear somebody say that is beautiful. So yeah, that's a few things that I did. And I'm gonna say that my weekly win for this week is just having the courage to say fuck it. And particularly in regards to this smart contract. I did do the smart contract. I did launch the smart contract on testnet. But I realized, like, I was just killing myself, and instead of doing the extra 2 days of killing myself to really finish it, I was like, hey, I need a week. I need a week, maybe two, to step back and to not just be, working on the computer 8 to 12 hours a day and not being a very nice person in the rest of my life, because I'm so focused on work. I'm shutting out relationships. I'm sort of ignoring people, and I might come off as not as friendly just because my mind is so wrapped up in the contract. Yep, that's what I got. So I would like to open the floor to casual chit chat and feedback. I want to start with like a little comment on Da Vinci. And I really, really like Da Vinci. Alejandro uses Da Vinci to edit, and he used it to edit the sparkling facets of Gudasol, as well as they have like a really cool VJ software. I think it's called Resolume, maybe. But you can take like images and make like all sort of trippy things for like a DJ set.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Good to know though. Uh-huh. But is that a paid version as well, or just part of like a different, like another tool from Black Magic Design?
It's from the same company. I think you have to
Yeah,
pay it separately though. Yeah.
probably. Yeah. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a lot of tools, but I haven't like, researched much about them, but I'm sure they have many more um cool stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Resolume. I didn't know. I haven't tried Da Vinci, but I am familiar with Resolume. The guy I do the AI night with in LA is VJ, or he does a bunch of other stuff now, but was a VJ for a really long time. So I hear about Resolume all the time, and it is cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take note. as well.
I'm trying
Along with
the
Hagen.
Asian, yeah, that's exciting. Like the multiple language things is huge. And it's always better to have a person face to face, but like you're saving time, you're saving energy, and the translation is huge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess like Joe was saying, it's something that I guess it could support in a way your content and your um engagement, but like rely on having that, and then you get invited to this lecture to give these lectures or talks or tech talks or whatever, and then it's like not happening. That's the other thing, I guess. No, because sometimes when I record my classes, I feel that I tap into I don't know, it's easier for me than going in Instagram and making a video there. For some reason, it is like a different channel for me. So it gets to a point that it gets really difficult. Sometimes I have to do many times if I want to do one video of face headshot, so it's I guess it's just training yourself, but also along with that, yeah, you can have this tool, but if you really want to develop this skill, it's important that you do the work alongside, and there's a lot of people actually doing a good job like teaching how to engage with the audience and stuff like that. I follow this guy, I think, in YouTube. He's really good, like with providing information to make you realize that it's much simpler. uh, yeah, it's how to facilitate this communication with the audience. So yeah, I guess it's just like use the tool, but like use the skill if you are relying to be in this um, person that that talks, and then people relies on you talking rather than if you are selling something in your product or another type of service, but the talking is like, okay, it's relevant, but it's not like what you are selling me, then I guess that's fine.
Yeah. I think like I feel the same way with myself and Instagram versus myself teaching. Like I've recorded so many lessons and so many classes, like I just kind of jump into that mode of like A, B, C, D. But what I've realized with Instagram is like my whole emotional energy is different. And I've been starting to like analyze like why am I coming from this childish vibration of like, hey, look how cool this is, but it's also like this little child who's like insecure and like I want to be silly because I know that they like silly, but in reality, I just need to be myself and to speak to my audience, um, and just get over my like negative views of Instagram because I just see like it just seems like such a time trap. But at the same time, like you can spread really valuable messages, and it does have to take a lot of time to record a 1 minute video. So I used to do a lot more of that, and I thank you for bringing that topic up because I need to hear that. I want to know who that guy is, that whose
Yeah.
channel is that you're following.
Oh, I don't remember his name right now. I will send it to you later.
Yeah,
I
some
guess
people
that's
say,
not it just always pop ups in my shorts because honestly with Instagram I spend just a few time in there just to check my stuff and sometimes to have a laugh. But then I prefer shorts for a reason. So I consume a lot more YouTube than Instagram. So I'm just in shorts most of the time, and then I get a lot of inspiration from that, and also yeah, I don't know, I prefer them for a reason.
I
I don't
remember
know
I
what about
talked
you guys.
do you remember me talking about like the ultimate shorts formula?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna share that back to that that video of myself climbing the volcano with my friend for the solar eclipse, I never made that short. It's like, it's one of those things that God just buried. Like, I filmed all the videos, I opened up the ScreenFlow document, I have it all cut together into like 5 minutes. I think I even
Oh
paid somebody
man.
on Fiverr to do it, and like
No.
still didn't get done.
No. Well, yeah, it's never late. Because you never know how reels are are gonna perform, you know. And I think there now I can figure out a way, but I saw a lot of shorts that they because you cannot put links in the description of the short, and the short description is like super tiny. And but some people I see that they have a whole YouTube long video attached to the right before the on top of the description. So if you click along there, it takes you to the long video. So it's a great way to like really promote your channel or promote whatever you are communicating in a long format. Something that you cannot do with Instagram, of course, because much more complicated. But
Yeah.
having that benefit, or I think this opportunity there in shorts is like, I think it's great. I haven't tried yet. I'm gonna look for it as well now that I'm promoting my new class and everything. But I think it has a lot of potential, in my opinion.
Oh, my internet's unstable.
I
Yeah,
basically, sorry,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I basically stopped using Instagram. I know I need to use it more, but I basically have almost just stopped. It's I really I don't know. I'm apprehensive, especially after all the like Twitter file stuff and how it's just like so controlled by our government and all that stuff. And I just like, ugh, it's been pushing me further and further away from using it, other than a what do you call it? Like advertisement business tool. But my groups on there of friends, like the people who follow me and all that, is from the past. Like it was more of a migration from Facebook from back in the day, you know what I mean? And so it's not like a super business thing for me anyway with the people who follow me and stuff. I almost feel like I need to create an entire new account on there to utilize that function. But yeah, I don't know, with all this stuff, I just been more and more disappointed with the TikToks and the Instagram. I'm just like, man, this is a cesspool of idiots and I don't want to be here. Like it's like, ugh, it really is like the worst. It highlights the worst parts of our society. It seems like, like look at me and I'm need attention and I'm an influencer and I don't know. I think I'm just getting old, but
Well,
that's one
here's
thing.
another way to think about it. That like it's like a Dorito. So these TikTok
Sorry.
videos or whatever, they're a Dorito for your brain and for your feelings. Like you get a little bit of entertainment, it tastes really good, but you're not getting any nutritional value, right? So
Okay.
we're just addicted to eating these short form videos of these Doritos, but yet we really need, a steak or like a vegan stir fry or something like healthy.
Right.
Well, I guess depends a lot on who you're following, because I if once you follow people that sort of are in a different sort of vibration, I guess. Maybe I'm just talking bullshit, but then then you get really inspired, because sometimes I go there and then I follow some people, and then these people like other videos that are very similar. Sometimes I found really cool stuff, really cool stuff. I've been finding like three or more people in the UK that they do foraging, and they have like a lot of knowledge of the botanical medicine plants over there. And then it is really interesting, it sort of inspires you and take you to this place, because the UK has a beautiful nature as well. And then and also, if something really interests you, whatever, you understand. And then you can just like, I've done it myself. Like I hear of something specific, and then I would like to research more about this specific subject, and then I take the time to go and research and sort of like nurture myself from whatever I found it interesting, but I would like to know more. And in that process, you never know what you can find, it's just like, it's I guess it's a little bit more responsible. I do get like entertainment in the other side of like funny videos or whatever, people that, that are just there for entertainment, pure entertainment, and just a laugh, but sometimes you need a good laugh. And sometimes
Totally.
the jokes that I find are super like, like silly, and like, and then there's not this whole, I don't know, whatever. But it gets you in a good mood sometimes, and then obviously have a limit. That's another thing, just know when to stop and then move to the whatever have to do next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to get addicted to potato chips and lick the bag. Like when you get to the end of it. Yeah, anyone like I watch a lot of videos on Reddit. That's my binge. I haven't done it in months, but sometimes I'll just binge on Reddit videos, which are the worst, because like you'll start to repeat the loop of Reddit videos, and then it's just like,
Oh,
what am I doing with my life? I've watched all the videos in the subreddit.
That's a good point on the follower thing, and that's a goal I'd like you guys to check me on. Definitely not for this week, but I keep seeing it, and I totally have the ability to do it. So, and I'd like to do it. Maybe I should set a goal for this month, but I would like to set up an Instagram AI account, right? One of these like. Because I keep seeing it and I'm like, I could do that. Why haven't I done that? Just to experiment and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good idea as well. I bet there's a lot of people already doing it.
There is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And because now it's like, I get a lot of people said, I've been hearing that people prefer now to open, instead of like gaining or attracting a new an audience after you have posted a lot of stuff. It's like starting from scratch, and like it's sort of like it gets a refreshment, because the algorithm sort of thinks like, oh, he's new, whatever, and this is, and you really give a message of what audience you wanting to attract, and then it gets you a lot of space and attention and focus or whatever. And instead of like keep pushing yourself with the same account, like after you have been doing sort of something and then you change something, like what happened to me, for example. I feel a little bit stuck right now with my following, and I've been debating whether to start over or just retake another one that I had in Spanish. Another thing, that's the other thing, I don't know if I should open another page just in Spanish or just in English. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know what, because I have my classes in English, because in Skillshare, most of the students are from the United States, and I guess just a few from Germany, the UK, I guess, I don't know, but just a few. And then Spanish is like they're trying to push it to gain more people, from students from Latin America and stuff like that, but it's not like very big. So I have no clue, guys. I still don't know. But yeah, whatever.
I mean, to me, just right off the bat from hearing that, I'd say do both, right? Because that's one thing with any of this stuff, right? Is the ease of access. So if I speak Spanish and I have to go through a bunch of English stuff to find you speaking Spanish a few times, or I have to do some, I might just skip it, right? Same thing,
Yeah.
opposite English, same thing. But everyone's lazy, you know what I mean? Unfortunately. So I might just be like, just same content, but just, and then two places. You drop your
In
English
two
version, you
places.
drop,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you know, and you
Mm-hmm,
have your
mm-hmm,
Spanish
mm-hmm.
following, and, you know, I think that would
All
be it, just
right.
I
because people are
Yeah.
lazy.
I
Yeah. I
think
think
that
I kind of like the idea.
English people don't like Spanish more than Spanish people don't like English. Like Americans, we are really not don't know any Spanish, but like Latin America, everybody knows Spanish. Everybody in Spain can pretty much speak English. I mean, um, so like I think if you did the Latin channel, you would have some room to post some of your English stuff as well, but on the English stuff would have to be all in English.
Yeah. You're right. Huh. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense actually. Because I do want to post some of the stuff related to the art therapy stuff that I'm working on, but I don't want to mix it with all the other stuff that I have in English. And I was debating like, oh no, I'm gonna give another more distraction so people don't actually know what is this girl for. You know, like I'm following this person, but what is she up to? Because right now a lot of people that they have a lot of big followings, you go to to the feed, and then you immediately know what this guy is about. It's about making pots. This guy is the girl that lives in a boat and sells flowers. It's called Roca, and she lives in London. You know, and then I follow her. And then it's just like something very specific. So, and then if you give too many things, then at the end people don't sort of click. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's another thing that I sort of realized as well. So I don't want to mix a lot of stuff and just keep vomiting a lot of information that I just feel inspired. But it's good. But but hearing you guys saying this, perhaps I can redirect that a little bit. So thank you.
I have a question for you. You tend to travel all over. You seem to be in a different place. I know we're recording, so you may not want to say, but I was wondering where are you now?
Oh, I'm in Peru. I'm back in my country. I'm planning to stay for a few months, probably more, probably until September here in Peru. I'm gonna be going to the Secret Valley as well to do some classes and workshops as well. But pretty much I'm gonna stay here in Peru. It's good. I needed a break from traveling a lot, but I'm probably gonna be moving at the end of the year, most likely.
Where you
Where?
want
Don't know. Probably to Uruguay.
Sorry.
My sister is coming back from Australia in October or something like that, and they are gonna start building their project and wherever in Uruguay. So maybe I will go give her a hand and then go back to the UK, most likely. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Depends a lot of on my partner, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
So
It's
is there like a
what?
spiritual community in Uruguay that they're sort of building around, or what is there?
Not it's they're both yoga teachers, so it's something they want to also create a space where people can um like a natural corridor along the forest. So it's a little bit more like you can call it like tourism, but in a different way, more connected to nature, and then you can actually do these walks and this sort of stuff, and also merge it with yoga and all the practices that they do and permaculture, because they are already designing the place. Science now they're over there, but they're designing everything, so they come here and they have everything just to go there, buy something and start building.
Yeah.
That's their plan. So, yep, good. A lot of stuff's happening. Mm.
Yeah. I've just been blown away by San Marcos, where I'm staying right now. Just the amount of like spiritual happenings that are going on and people that I want to learn more about, like different spiritual sort of guide places. You know, like we were living in Pisac, the Sacred Valley. That's another huge connection point. So I think it's fascinating that they exist everywhere. And I think like it's a big thing with Aquarius Academy. Like, how can we help? You know, how can we bring people together? Like, what sort of layers of connection? And, you know, to bring it back to content, to bring it back to what we're talking about, maybe I need to figure out like what my voice is through the Aquarius Academy Instagram, and or find who that person who wants to do it, who's you know, wants to build their following alongside us, or just share happy thoughts. Uh, and perhaps like, all right, question for the group. What would be an interesting like persona or sort of gimmick almost for your project or for your future content? So you both are talking about doing something new on Instagram. Uh, I'll go first so you know what I'm talking about. So Aquarius Academy, we want to start posting more videos on Instagram. One thing I did in the past was like happy days where I sort of share a lesson. Another thing I could do is just to highlight a specific teacher, and then show the contradiction in society, right? So that could be one gimmick, is to like highlight where philosophy and reality are vastly opposed, right? That could be like a part of a brand. Just an idea for an example, and maybe I'll think of a better idea. So Curly, what do you think or you
Yeah.
can skip, don't have to answer. I just thought it would be a fun topic.
Yeah. I think I understand. Or maybe not.
Like, so for the
So
boat on the flowers, like what's your selling boat on flowers? You know, like your one thing that you could focus on. Yeah.
um um wait, what? I thought you would say something like a persona. No, I'm a bit confused.
I said gimmick, but yeah, like
Gimmick. I don't know what is gimmick, sorry.
a gimmick is like a gimmick is almost a trick, but it's more like a selling point that's kind of like convinces you of something. Um, but
Here-
yeah,
Here's a here's another word you won't know is shtick, and it's the same thing that I think Douglas is referring to. But it's what you mentioned. It's that woman that sells flowers on the boat. That's her
Yeah.
gimmick or her shtick, and she sticks to
Oh,
it. And that's what is kind of makes it successful is she focuses on that one thing. Is that right, Douglas? Is that what you're talking about?
exactly.
okay. You're saying okay. I guess I want to be seen as the the girl that teaches you stuff about nature that's connected to spirituality, or spirituality maybe is perhaps too broad. That it brings you closer to nature, to so you can know more about yourself, or maybe that brings you closer to nature. So um you can deal with your own shadows or whatever. I don't know. Or you can get to open or get to know your whole nature. Something like that, you know.
It
But
has to
that's
be more
it's something.
distinctive. Like it has to be like all you have to do
Yeah,
is
I know.
have like the girl in the big red hat. Like have some anchor that's like, oh, that's the girl in the big red hat. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like there's the one guy that he always has like a rope and something dangling and he's talking to the thing that's dangling from the rope, you know? So what are you
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
add
yeah.
to that? What can you add to that to make it really
Hmm.
memorable?
I guess I really like, one of the things that I really like about my pigments, because I collect the samples of soil and everything, is like I see them as really as powerful, that they hold really powerful energy, this soil, and I use them to paint, but sometimes I when I do something in my face, like it not like makeup or anything, just like some sort of marks in my face or something like that, I feel like I'm that I'm that sort of soil, or that I sort of like mix with that energy of the soil. So perhaps I can I can be that girl with her face painted that talks to you about this and that,
Yes, I
perhaps.
love it.
Yeah, I kind of like it actually, but it doesn't have to be a symbol or just anything that it can change. I guess it can change,
Well, it should be the same for the whole channel for the Instagram.
the whole same painting, the way that you paint your face.
Well, oh, you mean that? Yeah, you can change, I guess, how you paint your
Ah,
face.
okay, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
have to have a
of course.
painted the whole time.
I like it.
And maybe I can do my stick.
That's what the whole moment that you were talking, I wasn't understanding anything because I was just thinking that when are you gonna do stuff with your stick?
Today's the day. Let's go.
And like you can even find friends that help you record it, and then you're like, many times I told you, like, there is a lot of like energy information and how to move your energy, how to connect with parts of your body, and physicality, purely physicality, not even get to the part of the spiritual, just the physicality and the stick. That is just like so much to talk about that. And you have like videos for at least 3 months. And then you can start getting to know where to pivot it, how to pivot it from there. But yes, there is so much. What about you, Joe? Tell us, we want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been trying to listen and think at the same time. Um,
Yeah.
and like a million things kind of went through my head. And obviously I've been on this AI tip for well over a year now and just been really doing it. So my first instinct is to go with that. And like my favorite part of it is the creative aspects, right? So art, music, writing. The chat one kind of goes beyond that a little bit, but my first instinct is to say something along those lines and just to provide constant, free and cheap tools for people to use and keep that updated. But then my, second guessing is like, oh, there's already freaking 9 million people doing that. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, you should have started this a year ago if you're going to do it. But then, and again, I'm thinking all this while I'm trying to listen, but I'm like, well, it's one of those things like with Bitcoin or something. Like people are like, oh, if I would have bought Bitcoin, I had an opportunity 5 years ago. And it's like, bro, you're living today and you're missing the same opportunity. And 5 years from now, you're gonna say, fuck, 5 years ago, I was talking about 5 years ago buying Bitcoin and blah, blah, blah. So then I'm like, maybe I should just shut up and do that, you know?
And
So at the end result of all of it, I haven't exactly decided on that, but I really appreciate you putting it in my head, because if I am talking about creating that specific account just for that, then I really should have a focus and a shtick kind of thing going, uh, gimmick, whatever. So yeah, so I haven't decided, but that that is good, and I will have to consider it. And I don't know, do you guys have any advice? What do you recommend? Or maybe I'm not even thinking right. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
no, try it, man. You have to try it because you learn from that trying as well. Even if you realize something and you just get discouraged and change to do something else, then you have that learning. But you never start. You're not gonna have that learning of the first phase, and it is a learning. It's crucial to continue, I guess. So I guess like your gimmick was the thing, no?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
it?
gimmick.
But what's the other
So the
word?
gimmick,
But what's the other word?
then I
Shtick.
could type now. It's not
Shtick?
Shtick. It's like a Yiddish
shtick.
word. What's your shtick? It's like SCHTICK, I think. Um,
Mm, shtick.
yeah, but it's like it's like your dang it. I just had it and I lost it. Your it's like some people have like a catchphrase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they always it's that thing that's like your what you're known for, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe I just focus on free stuff. I mean, obviously I'll get the I won't get the big spender audience if I'm going after the free stuff, but then I'm like helping more the people who really do need help because they need the free stuff. So I don't know, maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
the route.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's a really great thing. And you've just shared so much to the group, not just this week, but every week, like with free tools to use. And just that little nudge is so valuable in people's lives. And people will associate that with your account. And then, like, you can put up a freebie that's like, hey, these are the top 10 AI stuff for making professional video content. And then
Mm-hmm.
would love to subscribe to your list. You'll get thousands of people on your list. And then, whenever you have a paid course for $5 or for $500, a couple of them will jump through the hoop. So I think it's a great idea in a business sense, to do target free stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that oh, this is the guy that always shares about the new sort of hot stuff that's free. And I guess most of these tools sometimes are free, they get paid. But at least you are showing them, and sort of like, if you really get really good into that, the brands that are starting to launch their stuff, you can serve like as a channeler for those brands to be known, you know, because you already have that audience of people. Oh, this is the guy that posts new stuff that's free, that is useful, of course, not those new stuff that is obsolete. But like the cool stuff that is new and that is free, and yeah, it's practical, and I think that that's a good thing, and focus on that, and also like enjoying the process as well. Like it has to be something that you enjoy doing, because it's something that, oh yeah, I like doing it, but it takes a lot of effort for me. And then you might maybe think about something else. But if you really like it and you get excited about this new tool, and then you also talk about the good and the bad, because the one thing I really like about you is like sometimes often you say like, okay, yeah, this is the stuff, but this other stuff also can prevent you from doing this and that, or these are the negatives of something. So that sort of opposites, sort of brings you a little bit more awareness, to the actual tool. So that's something that I really like and appreciate. That you don't just giving something and like you just read, because you're also giving your opinion on how to be careful and how to be conscious using this tool, if you're using it, of course.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Man, this little last
Yeah.
thing I think was really helpful. Awesome.
Nice.
My tip would be focus on the first 3 seconds, especially for like the content. Like show what the tool does visually in 3 seconds, and you're gonna do great with the algorithms. People are gonna see that, they're gonna be like, oh, and then they're gonna watch the whole thing, and you're gonna blow up.
Cool. That's good advice too. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah. And start doing it. That's a reminder for myself. I'm gonna test something. Yeah, I'm gonna paint my face and I'll show you guys on WhatsApp once I do it.
Yeah, use the group, share the group. Let's use
I'm going to record it in the beach tomorrow. I'm going camping with my mom and 2 friends. We're all girls, and we're going to be one night. My cat is asking for me. What do you want? And so perhaps I can just do it there. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for the inspiration, and I have to go also to cook.
Yeah,
It's getting late.
it's time. Yeah, it's regularly scheduled time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your projects with us. And yeah, I'm motivated. I feel like really like good. Like this meeting was super effective.
Same.
I'm gonna go make
Yeah.
my stick, and I figured out my gimmick.
Nice.
Your shtick.
My shtick
Right.
is my stick, like it's so obvious.
It was
Nice.
the answer was there the whole time.
I just need to see it.
Okay, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Love you
Enjoy
guys.
Okay,
the
you
rest of
too.
your week.
Big
Big hug
hugs.
to you.
Next week.
I'm a turkey. Oh,
Hey, good to see you, Joe.
bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Hugs.